Tonight is the third day of our discussion, but before that, I will discuss to you the literary analysis of the story Adele's House by Henrik Ibsen. So now, let us discuss first the characters of the story. Nora, the protagonist of the play and the wife of Thorvald Helmer. Thorvald Helmer, Nora's husband. Krogstad, a lawyer who went to school with Thorvald and holds a subordinate position at Thorvald's bank. Mrs. Linde, Nora's childhood best friend. Dr. Rank, Thorvald's best friend. So let's go to the plot analysis of the story. The major conflict of the story is when Nora struggles with Krogstad, who threatens to tell her husband about her past crime. Incites Nora's journey of self-discovery and provides much of the play's dramatic suspense. Nora's primary struggle, however, is against the selfish, stifling, and oppressive attitudes of her husband Thorvald and of the society that he represents. The rising action of the story is when Nora's first conversation with Mrs. Linde, Krogstad's visit of blackmailing of Nora, Krogstad's delivery of the letter that later exposes Nora. The climax of the story is when Thorvald reads Krogstad's letter and erupts angrily. The following action of the story is when Nora's realization that Thorvald is devoted not to her, but to the idea of her as someone who depends on him. Her decision to abandon him to find independence. The theme of the story is the sacrificial role of women, parental and filial obligations, the unreliability of appearances. The symbols of the story that we can see is that the Christmas tree and New Year's Day. So inclined with our assignment, which is literary criticism, our group uses the feminism approach. Adele's House, a play by Henrik Ibsen. In this play, Ibsen makes many hints about the rules of society and how the female gender was treated at the time. From this play, you can observe what Ibsen believed about the rules of society, equality between males and females, and the idea of feminism. A Doll's House is actually a play where one can see how things were at the same and what Ibsen himself believed about the central issues. Nora Helmer, our main character, strives to achieve the perfect ideal that is set before her by the context of her society and her husband, Thorvald. She is a direct contrast with the other female characters presented in Ibsen's A Doll's House. Nora herself is trapped within the doll's house that is her physical home. Thorvald, her husband, has built a wonderful little life for his wonderful doll wife. Nora's eventually transformation comes later as she discovers her role in the doll's house society, forced upon her and a desperate need to get out at any cost. Nora's unique relationship with her husband appears at first to quite a loving one. Indeed, she loves Thorvald, but it is really only because that's what she is supposed to do. Women are to love their husbands. Thorvald does not allow Nora to prosper as her own self, as was the custom of the times. Thorvald's use of what resembles baby talk when talking to his wife suppresses Nora's intense intellectual desire. She is smothered under Thorvald's defiance of respect. Thorvald says in the first very scene, "Is that my little art twittering out there?" This phrase sets up the character and his relationship with his wife, while some suggest it is the structure of the home itself that plays in the doll's house effect. Most critics will argue that Thorvald's demeaning nature taken with Nora is the reason she leaves. A long chain of events sets off the resistance shown by Nora. Once she begins thinking she can escape to create a better life for herself, there is no changing her mind. The last few scenes The reader or audience should have noticed an intense transformation occurring in Nora. She no longer identifies herself as Torvald's little lark or his baby squirrel. Nora feels she can better herself and leaving her husband and children is the only way to do it. She has been freed through self-actualization, and escaping the doll's house becomes her greatest triumph. In this sense, Nora is indeed the epitome of the modern woman. In creating Nora's rule, Ibsen was way ahead of the times. This play gave women a voice, a chance to stand up for themselves no matter the cost, and most modern women would agree. While it is a common concept for today's women and girls to have the same opportunities, it was not at all present in Ibsen's culture. This is why Nora is the mother of the modern world woman. So in conclusion, A Doll's House shows Ibsen's view on a variety of topics. Ibsen presents what he thinks about men and women's role in society, equality between genders, and feminism. A Doll's House is truly a modern classic and will be held as a model for women's rights for years to come.